Usually don't start a show with a comment, but this made me laugh. Werewolf says, every known style of facial hair represented tonight. Yes, absolutely. Great point. I even got a haircut today. Got a little low taper fade. We got a lot to discuss, ladies and gentlemen, in this week's Notre Dame football show. Very glad to be back. This is on a Wednesday night this week. It will be Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern time. Starting next week. I just shuffle some things around. With me, the legendary Hall of Famer, Eric Hansen, and I'm just Mike Singer. And I'm going to ask you to hit the thumbs up on this video, subscribe to the Blue and Gold YouTube channel for more content. And this show is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. Tailgate season is here. No one's going to get you ready for game day like Academy. So swing by your local store or shop online at academy.com to find everything you need, from grills to jerseys and more. Be a watch party legend with gear from top brands like Nike and Under Armour, all at unbeatable prices every day. 8 stores across the state of Indiana and a new store that just opened up in Mishawaka. Fun cannot lose, folks, and neither can you. So gear up today at Academy Sports and Outdoors. Eric, you doing well, my friend?
I can't lose. So I'm always thinking of something funny during the promos, and I made sure that I didn't say it or interrupt or laugh. So, and I do like our sponsors. I like the Academy Sports and Outdoor store is very near to me, and I'm really looking forward to getting over there.
Yeah. So thank you, Academy, for being a title sponsor here of Blue and Gold. And yeah, like Justin said, support the guys, hitting the thumbs up on the video. So yeah, loaded show. Eric and I will be here for the next hour, and then Tyler Horka is going to join us in a moment. And Landon Tengwall, national college football analyst, hit me up. He's like, bro, I had a lot of fun last week, and I want to be on again this week to talk about, what he saw from Notre Dame last week. So we'll bring him on at about 8:30 p.m. Eastern time. And there is Tyler Horka. Man, I see 2 linebacker hats on the screen right now. How about that?
Let's go. Speaking of sponsors, when are we going to pull that one off? Is that on me?
I don't know. I don't get to go there too often. I think you guys get to go there a little bit more than me.
I think you would have more influence there. I just sit there. I mean, like when you got the hats, I just told your dad, I go, the shtick is we need to look needy and pathetic, and Tyler will do all the work. And so we kind of shuffled our feet and looked at each other, and all of a sudden there were hats.
See, when you go to the linebacker enough times on Friday night, when you show up for your radio show on Saturday, they're like, okay, this guy's built up some equity. Maybe we should throw him a hat or 2 or 5. So that's as far as we've gotten so far, though, and some burgers as well.
Or did they say, I see this guy on Friday night. Why is he trying to act like a professional in here on a Saturday morning? Or is that the discussion? Well, let's all right, let's get into the meat and potatoes of the show.
Sure.
The Penn State thing. Okay, so here's the tweet from On3 that has 5 million impressions on Twitter, which is kind of a subplot note of this. But here's the tweet. Penn State Athletic Director Pat Kraft plans to take a couple of big swings during the hiring process. One name that he may make a run at is Notre Dame's Marcus Freeman, sources tell Pete Nakos. I've seen some people see that and they're like, oh, On3 is, just thinks that Freeman's going to go to Penn State. Nope, that's not what it says. It's, look, would I have tweeted this? Like, is this something that we would have done at Blue and Gold? Probably not. I could have seen Kyle Kelly tweeting this and I would yell at Kyle. I'd be like, Kyle, what are you doing? This isn't my style. But is the information accurate according to Pete Nakos? Yes. So are they going to make a run at him? Sure. Back when I was a single guy, I told this story on Wednesday. I tried to make a run at tennis star Jeannie Bouchard. We had a couple mutual friends. I tried to make a run at her. Didn't mean I had any chance in hell. And that's kind of how I see this. I don't think Penn State has a chance to get Marcus Freeman, just like I did not have a chance to get Jeannie Bouchard. Eric, what's your reaction to all this? I haven't heard your opinions on it.
I got asked about it in my live chat today, that and the Florida job that's not yet open. Let me talk about
Texas for that, by the way. It only took 5 minutes, but you can thank Texas for the Florida job not being open.
Okay. The way I see it from let's look at it from Penn State standpoint. They should take swings at people. And if you're Marcus Freeman, there are people that are going to want you, and there are people that are going to want your assistant coaches. And I think that's a healthy place to be. And I think that Marcus will play this right. I mean, he's an authentic guy. You know, Brian Kelly played games with us as far as the LSU interest or other going somewhere else. It wasn't LSU necessarily at that point, but just going somewhere else. I think Marcus will be authentic about it, and I think Marcus loves Notre Dame. But if you're Penn State, you should be aspiring to get somebody like that as your head coach. The way that it was played, I don't know that there was anything wrong in it. It may just be the way that it appeared on social media. But I think context is really important. And my answer to the person that asked about it was, I don't know if you guys saw the Austin Powers movies, but he has a line where he says, well, I want a toilet seat of solid gold, but it's not happening, baby, is it? So that's kind of how I see it with Marcus Freeman.
Horka?
Yeah, I think it's the verbiage almost for me, like taking a run at Marcus Freeman. That makes it sound more serious. And let's be honest, like from Marcus Freeman's standpoint and perspective, it's not a serious offer unless, like Jack Sobel said the other night, offer me $100 million and like everyone has a price, but Penn State doesn't have $100 million. I think $55 million is going to go to James Franklin over the next however long. So that's a whole other issue. But taking a run at and like making a call, two totally different things to me. Like making a run sounds like, oh man, both parties are interested. I don't think Marcus Freeman's going to be interested. So maybe like we could have said making the call or like, but like you said, Mike, everyone makes that call, right?
Yeah, you got to try.
Penn State would be stupid not to make that call. So yeah, I mean, I think I've said everything that I need to say on this.
Yeah.
It's just like making a run. No, it's not. You're not going to run very far. Maybe this is like a 100-meter sprint and Penn State pulls its hamstring in the first 50. Like that's about as serious as this is to me.
The irony, I don't know if irony is the right word, but like Freeman in this picture looks like he's looking up at the tweet being like, bro, what?
I think it was strategic. Because I try, I don't know about Eric, but and Mike, you're in the world of picking out AFIs or whatever you want to call them for your articles. I like when they make a little bit of sense. And that one right there, that makes a lot of sense to me in that it doesn't make sense to Freeman based on his facial expression.
All right. Look, what I'd like to say too is that you did say everybody has their price, but I think part of what Marcus's price is what his family loves, what he loves in terms of what's important to him. And money isn't everything that factors into the price. I remember talking to Joanna Freeman the day that Marcus was hired or announced, and she talked about, Brian Kelly offering them a chance to go as defensive coordinator to LSU. And she talked about how much, and he had a chance to go with Ed Orgeron the winter before instead of coming to South Bend, and how important it was for their family to be in this kind of community. Just again, what Marcus sees as Notre Dame. I think at this stage of his career, the only really tempting offer for him would be Ohio State.
Yeah, that's where I wanted to go next.
Or the NFL, maybe. Like I could see. Yeah. I made the point on Six-Pack. He's a leader of men no matter what age. Like he could be an NFL coach to me. But I think he really likes the college game, and I don't see him leaving the college game.
Right. I think he I think he believes in that message about the education and choosing hard and so forth. I think he could do the NFL, but I don't think it intrigues him. Not at this stage, maybe later.
Yeah, later for me. I think he fits college better right now. I was thinking about this the other day, like what, and listen, if you're someone, I think part of the outrage from like the parts of social media about that post being out there is like don't talk about Marcus Freeman with other jobs, because if it gets talked about enough, then it's going to come true. This is very unprofessional, but I gotta say goodnight.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, how
Look
cute.
at that head of hair.
I know.
Oh my gosh.
Say
Hi.
goodnight to Uncle Tyler and Grandpa Eric, okay?
Good night, baby
Aw,
girl.
what a
So
sweetie.
cute. You're doing great, Mike.
Oh, dude, she turns 1 on Friday. Time is
Oh,
just
happy
flown
early
by.
birthday.
Happy early birthday, says Uncle Tyler. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the more you talk about like Freeman, it's just like you don't like to hear it. If you're a Notre Dame fan who loves Marcus Freeman, you don't want to see your coach being linked with these other jobs because it's just scary. It's scary to think about Freeman going to another job. Like last year was the Bears he was thrown out for, right? Quick side note, you mentioned the LSU thing. I had heard, I don't know how public knowledge of this is, but I was told that before the Notre Dame came after him, Duke wanted him. Which would that have been when Mike Elko got the job? Would that have been that off season? I can't remember.
Had to have been, yeah.
Yeah,
I forget what
it had to have
context I
been.
heard this in, but I remember Duke being a thing
Yeah,
as well.
it probably was for me to be honest, but yeah,
I
remember.
Serious.
Yeah, no, Duke was definitely interested, and I was told that was a job that Freeman almost took, and worked out for him that he did not, because then a few weeks later got the Notre Dame job. But anyways, I'm trying to remember my train of thought because I just got off on like 6 different tangents here.
Well, you were talking about
what job? What like Ohio State would be, and if this is something that triggers you folks, like you don't want us to talk about that, just skip ahead, maybe pause it and come back later.
What's funny about Ohio State is you remember when he kind of ripped on the academics ahead of the 2022 season opener, and the fans didn't forget it. I saw college game day signs and whatnot, but he knows how to recruit Notre Dame, and that's one of the things. It's like, hey, we go to class here now. I think he said something like that, and
it's legit too. As a player, it was close between Notre Dame and Ohio State. He really liked Tyrone Willingham, and he loved the Notre Dame vibe, and he ends up picking Ohio State. But Notre Dame was number 2, so it wasn't like this is, oh yeah, I didn't realize it was this great place. He knew it.
Yeah, from like everything we know about the guy, like where else could I see him going? Like,
and you had to say what it is right now too. I get it. Notre Dame has 2 losses this year, but they're good losses, if you will. It would be not even a lateral move in terms of like where Notre Dame is as a program and where Penn State. James Franklin has tanked that thing. Penn State's always going to be desirable to a certain point, but Penn State was more desirable coming out of the Orange Bowl than where it is right now. And Notre Dame is on an ascension, number 13 in the country, win out, you're in the playoff type of thing. Like that would rub people way the wrong way if Freeman was like, oh yeah, Penn State, that's where I need to be right now, as opposed to Notre Dame. Like Notre Dame is Notre Dame right now. Like things are good here for sure. And he's part of it. He's a huge reason for that.
And he believes, I think he honestly believes Notre Dame can win a national championship in football. I think Brian Kelly stopped believing that, but I think Marcus Freeman does. I know Mike Denbrock thinks that because he said it when he got here. He left LSU to come to Notre Dame, and then he said it, and it was kind of like trump card that Brian Kelly and what he said going out the door.
If you win a national championship at Notre Dame, I think it's so much different than going to like, some other school that's won national championships recently. Like you win a national championship at Notre Dame, I mean, I feel like it's like winning 5 championships at like an Alabama or something. I don't know. It's just
Penn State has the same conundrum.
Penn State does.
But for example, Ohio State, if you went there, it's like everyone's won championships at Ohio State in the last however many years. Yeah. What would that mean?
I agree with K-Mac. You're an instant legend. That's kind of what I was trying
to say. You're a forever team. People will remember that team that wins one forever, and they'll talk about it forever to their grandkids.
Yeah. All right, folks, moving along, and want to give a shout out to the sponsor of this week's show, and that is Brunt Workwear. A lot of you listening or watching work long hours, maybe construction, mechanics, warehouse gigs, and you know how brutal it is to be on your feet all day in bad boots. And that's where Brunt comes in. They are built, they built work boots that are comfortable right out of the box. There's no break-in, no sore feet, just straight comfort and durability from day one. These boots shocked me, folks. Usually you got to suffer through a week before your boots feel decent, and that's not the case with Brunt. They're tough, waterproof, and built to last. Somehow they also feel like sneakers. That's how comfortable they are. And the story's great. Eric Girard grew up blue collar, and he started Brunt because the big brand stopped listening to real workers. Every product's named after the guys he grew up with, actual tradesmen. Brunt was tired of the workwear brands out there cutting corners. You work too hard to be stuck in uncomfortable boots that don't hold up, so they built something better. Boots that are insanely comfortable and built for any job site. For a limited time, our listeners get $10 off at Brunt when you use the code BGI at checkout. Just head to bruntworkwear.com, use that code BGI, and you're good to go. And after you order, the last where you heard about Brunt, do us a favor and tell them it was from the Blue and Gold YouTube channel and the podcast. So Yo-Yo Sanderson, Eric, you were like the wise owl. Love listening to you. Keep up the great work. I completely agree. And yes, thank you, Brunt, for sponsoring this week's show. I want to throw this tweet out there. I felt really good about this one. I don't know. I tweeted this. I had John Gruden on the mind, I guess. I said, I'll tell you what, man. More clear than ever that Ja'Juan Seider made the right move at the perfect time. Right? I mean, you go from Katron Allen and Nick Singleton to Love and Price. You leave a place you were at for several years, and you recruited those guys and developed those guys, and you leave for Notre Dame. Not only did he get an upgrade, I mean, Penn State's now a dumpster fire, and now he's almost in a place at a team that's like controlling its own destiny at the playoff. So it's that as just like a side note to this whole, like you talked about assistants, Eric, like Ja'Juan Seider and as an assistant who's just his trajectory as a coach is upward for sure.
He is. I really enjoyed talking to him. I learned something about football every time I talk to him, and that's a neat thing. I love his perspective as a former quarterback and how he teaches that to the running backs.
Anything else, Tyler, on the whole Freeman Penn State discussion before we move on?
No, I love that you show your tweet there because you look at Mel Kiper's list that we've been kind of harping on the Blue and Gold message board, and I think that should settle the debate of who's got the best running back room in the country. Not that alone. Watch the games, watch the players. It is Jeremiah Love and Jadarian Price, but Mel Kiper's been doing this for a long time. Number 1, Jeremiah Love. Number 3, Jadarian Price. I believe Katron Allen and Nicholas Singleton are somewhere in the 4 to 8 range, boboth of them. I don't know who's where.
2?
But it's Haynes at Michigan, I want to say.
Oh, yeah.
I got it. I can look it up.
Okay.
But still, it's like
he's good.
You got 2 of the 3 best backs in the country, and you can make a case the 2 best backs in the country. It's pretty insane.
Singleton is 6, Allen is 8, Justice Haynes is 2.
Okay. Yeah. Folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the YouTube channel here for more content. Of course, Blue and Gold, your home for all things Notre Dame football and recruiting coverage. I was going to post an article with a big prediction, and I didn't get it posted in time, so you'll be able to find that on the website after this show. Got some unfortunate injury news this week. Ashton Craig out for the season. Tweet here from the esteemed Tyler Horka, Notre Dame quarterback. CJ Carr has total trust in Joe Otting taking over starting center duties for Ashton Craig, who's out for the year with knee injury. Quote from Carr, "We're in the huddle with him. Like, Joe, we trust you, dude. You've been doing this all your life." Tyler, tell me about this.
Yeah, I first want to start with Ashton Craig, though, because I'm still in the midst of my NC State rewatch. It's taken longer than usual this week. We had Notre Dame Women's Basketball Media Day today, so that kind of threw a wrench into things, and then my Tuesday looked different. But anyway, in what I have seen from that game, Ashton Craig is just a phenomenal football player. Like, he moves people on every single play, pass pro, run blocking, number 70. I can't tell you how many of these clips that I take and I use in the article that I put out every single week for the rewatch. And number 70 is just in these plays, like pancaking people and in the right spot at the right time. He's always there for CJ Carr, for the ball carrier. He's going to be missed. And I think going forward, watching Joe Otting in the middle is going to be a big part of the media process for us, Eric, is like, okay, we know what Notre Dame had at that spot, an NFL level guy in Ashton Craig. What is Notre Dame going to have now in Joe Otting? And I know talking to you on Monday,
Right.
You might be leaning a different direction. Like Joe Otting's got a chance to prove himself on Saturday and beyond. And that is what Marcus Freeman's looking for. CJ Carr, obviously, who loves Joe Otting, Mike Denbrock on down the line. But we've seen some other people take snaps or snap the ball for Notre Dame this calendar year, Sullivan Absher being one of them. And if you were in the camp all along that Sullivan Absher is one of your 5 or 6 or 7 best offensive linemen, then this could be an avenue for him to play. But it all starts with Joe Otting on Saturday. Like if he plays and he blows people away and there's not too much of a drop off from Ashton Craig to Joe Otting, then you roll with Otting. But the problem is with the drop off is like Ashton Craig was here. Yeah. Is Joe Otting going to be anywhere close to that? And if he's not, maybe it's time to take a look at some other options for Notre Dame.
And he will get tested because USC is 29th in the country in rush defense. They're 7th in the country in sacks, 12th for tackles for loss. So that's a unit that's going to be able to give you a good litmus test. But I do think during the bye week, Notre Dame owes it to themselves to sit down and say, is the long-term solution Joe Otting or is it Sullivan Absher?
I mean, Eric, how are you feeling about this Notre Dame USC game right now? We'll do a video tomorrow where and kind of put you guys more on the spot and give me a prediction. But I mean, I'm guessing you both have Notre Dame winning this contest, but how nervous are you? I don't know if nervous is the right term. Don't yell at me, a la Marcus Freeman and garbage time. But what are your feelings about this game right now?
I think there's paths to victory for USC, and I think there's multiple ones. I do expect Notre Dame to win this game, and I think one of the things that I'm expecting is that they're going to be the more physical team on both sides of the ball. And I do think Notre Dame has good enough athletes to match up with some of the elite USC skill. But that Devontae Smith health report on Thursday is pretty important. I love Dallas Golden. I think he's one of the best athletes on either side of the ball, but he's not one of the best defensive backs yet. He will get there, but he's just not there yet. And so does Notre Dame have a really good game plan where maybe you have some intermittent Leonard Moore on Mekhi Lemon, the most productive receiver in the country right now. But I still like Notre Dame, especially if they play a clean game as far as turnovers. And I expect some special teams shenanigans.
Was Smith listed as questionable last Thursday, Eric?
Last Thursday, he was listed as out, I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, he was downgraded to out.
I would guess he'll be questionable.
Yes, and even if he's questionable on Thursday and still plays, he hasn't played in a few weeks, and you're not going to play him 70-some snaps against the best receiver in the country. You're still going to have a rotation and some other things going on. But he would help. I mean, it would be a big help for him.
Yeah, and then obviously weather could play a factor, Tyler.
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get through one day at a time over here with this busy week, but the closer we get to Saturday, I keep hearing
where's Rich Starkey?
Yeah, go to the message board and go to Rich Starkey's thread to see about the weather. But wind, lightning, rain, that's in the forecast, which means it'll be 70 and sunny, hopefully. Cross my fingers.
At least when we're walking to the stadium.
Yeah, a lightning delay for a 7:30 kick hits a lot different and in much worse fashion than a lightning delay for a 3:30 kick. I'll just say that.
I'm going to bring a pillow to the press box.
Oh, man. All right, let's talk about ESQ clothing, ladies and gentlemen. It's seen on all your favorite Notre Dame players and coaches, including Marcus Freeman, and it's founded by Notre Dame alum Ga Wang. ESQ is your go-to spot for the best handmade custom suits, sport coats, tuxedo shirts, and more. Like if you need to look fly and you're in the Chicagoland area, you need to go to esqclothing.com. Like they're gonna make you look real good. All right. ESQ's master tailors combine next level craftsmanship with the finest fabrics to deliver a fit that's built just for you. Again, showrooms both downtown Chicago and in Winnetka. So book your custom fitting at esqclothing.com. Mention Blue and Gold at your appointment and receive 10% off your entire purchase. That's esqclothing.com. Eric, last topic before we get Landon Tengwall in here is just the USC rivalry in general. I mean, is it going to continue? Like, what's kind of the latest vibes on that front?
Boy, I wish I had connected with a source this week, and it just hasn't happened yet. But here's what I think will happen. I do not think it will continue on an annual basis. And even if it did, I don't think it's going to be placed in the calendar in the same spots that it is October here. And then after Thanksgiving there, I think there's going to be probably a shift. So it won't maybe continue as we know it, but I think maybe in a reduced form, which would be better than nothing.
Yeah.
But it is fun every year. There's so much to it. I mean, this is the program that Notre Dame measures itself against. And we had Lou Holtz on our podcast, which is actually going to air Thursday. But
wait, what?
Yeah, Lou was talking about it. Yeah, we had Lou. We got him on his iPad.
Casual drop there.
Sorry. But it was really fun talking to him about he didn't lose one to USC until his very last and 11th try. They were undefeated up until that point.
10-1's not so bad.
Yeah. It was.
Oh, they tied?
9-1-1. Yeah, they had a tie. This is before they had overtime. They did have a tie.
Okay. 9-1-1's not so bad.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Marcus Freeman's trying to get to what, 3-1? That's not bad either.
Nope.
And that's what, like, Eric says that this is the program that Notre Dame measures itself against. In the Freeman era, especially the last three, Notre Dame would be the class of this rivalry, if you will. And I think that's always what you want to be. I mean, look at Michigan, Ohio State. Ohio State has a coach with the best winning percentage ever, I think. I think he passed Saban technically in terms of winning percentage at one school, something like that. And they wanted to fire him at this time, or, coming up 12 months ago last year. And then he wins the national championship. Like, he's that good. He's a national championship winning coach, but because he couldn't beat Michigan all those years, it's like, hey, we can't have this guy. So I think if Marcus Freeman had a USC problem, Irish fans would think at least a little bit differently of him. It's not Michigan, Ohio State level probably, but like, you buy yourself some points if you win this game on either side. And like Lincoln Riley probably hears it, that he can't beat Notre Dame if he were to lose 3 in a row here. So it's a rivalry game, man. And those are my thoughts on it. It's a rivalry game. It should continue. I hope that we show up to Notre Dame Stadium at 6:30, Eric, on Saturday night after walking over from the linebacker doing our radio show. And there's a little piece of paper on all of our placements there in the press box saying Notre Dame and USC have renewed for at least a home and home, like 26-27. Let's run this back and let's figure out the long term after that. That would be in everyone's best interest, but maybe we all can't be so lucky.
I don't hate the idea of an every other year thing either. Like, just keep it going. Eric, like, how important, before we get Landon Tengwall in here, like, how important do you think like this rivalry is to not only Notre Dame and USC, but just like college football as a whole? Because my thoughts on it are, there's no other rivalry like Notre Dame and USC, the cross-country thing. Like, that's unique.
It is unique, and that's one of the points Lou made. It's not just great for Notre Dame and USC, it's great for college football. This is what you want to have with rivalries. I'm sure USC maybe doesn't see it that way, and one of the reasons is, here's my stat that I keep proud of, that I keep repeating. Its last 12 trips into the Central or Eastern time zone, USC is 1-11. So There, maybe if you could play them in a Shamrock Series game in Las Vegas every year, they would like that. But that would take away from the rivalry. You want those games on campus, or in their case, kind of near campus.
And heck, Notre Dame winning out there last year, like that's the first time that I've seen Notre Dame win in Los Angeles, and that was sweet for the Irish. Like you could feel how much that meant. I think you feel how much it means for USC when and if they win out here. What's it been since 2011, Eric? Like it's been a long time, but those on-campus victories are a little bit sweeter, and this is an on-campus rivalry. It's fun. It's cross-country. It's cool. Sometimes you don't know what you have until it's gone. So like if it did go away for a little while, that next one after that would be attraction, must see television, must be in person type of thing. But sometimes you just need to like continue it on as it has been and never lose it. So I hope it stays. That's
and Mike, the thing is, it's been the gateway to the national championship for Notre Dame a lot of years. I mean, 2012, they had to win out in California to get into the BCS championship game. 88, you had to go through USC. That might have been even been a 1-2 game. There's just so much that you would be tossing away so that USC could play, I don't know, Fresno State in a non-conference game.
Hey, all-time jersey matchup every year too. Like it just looks good. It's going to look really good under the lights at Notre Dame Stadium this Saturday. Hopefully not Sunday morning, man. Though, Mike, you've got the weather seed planted now, and I'm crossing my fingers, man.
We're going to see if the linebacker has Sunday brunch if that happens.
All right, Tyler Hork, appreciate you spending a half hour with us, my brother.
Oh, actually, no. Need to do that. I want peace, but it's this, right? Is that?
Oh, for like a USC thing? Okay. There you go.
I thought you were doing horns down there.
That's
No, it's Sam Hartman.
Yeah.
The people know.
All right. See you
guys.
All right, folks, please hit the thumbs up on this video. Subscribe to the channel, of course, for more content. Going to bring in Landon Tengwall, former Penn State. Former Penn State offensive lineman who was once predicted to end up at Notre Dame. But he didn't really ever. He says he almost committed to Notre Dame. I don't think he did. I don't buy that.
I think my dad told like Tom Loy that I was gonna commit or something, and that I was leaning Notre Dame when I wasn't. And he was like, "Yeah, just trying to stir it up a little bit." I'm like, Dad, what the hell? I'm like, that's not what I do. Come on,
Landon, meet Eric. Eric, meet Landon.
Eric, how you doing, sir?
Good to meet you.
Great to meet you.
TP Adams says, "Is it true Landon's taking the Penn State job?" Landon, can you confirm or deny?
No, that's a job I wouldn't want right now. I'll tell you what. Pat Kraft, Penn State's athletic director, he's got a lot of big weight on his shoulders on this one, figuring out who's going to replace this right now.
Yeah, how about your first coaching job is Penn State. There you go. All right, Landon, man, ton to discuss with you. So yeah, if you guys don't know Landon, hey, thank you for riding with me on this show. It's been awesome to have you on last week, and going back to the Orange Bowl and everything. So yeah, Landon does he talks about Penn State on his own YouTube channel, but he does really cool stuff on his social media page, just like doing videos on other Big Ten schools and looping Notre Dame in there as well. So first, man, I was trying to find this tweet from you.
A lot on Twitter from me. Too much posting, probably.
So, yeah, we've been.
I got a question for him if you want to look something up.
Well, yeah, I found it, but go ahead, Eric.
Okay. Landon, I was curious. What do you make of two things: the PFF offensive lineman ratings and what the Joe Moore people do with their ratings of units?
I think overall, I think offensive line's probably a little bit easier to tell, but I'm not a fan of looking at PFF grades overall for anybody, because that person doesn't know what the assignment is that's grading it. Now with offensive line, it's a little bit easier to tell, and offensive line, there's only certain amount of different schemes to run. So I can tell if you're running power, I kind of know what your assignment should be. And it's obvious to tell if you mess up. It's a little bit harder for like a defender or anything like that. So I'm not super big into PFF grades as a whole. I think a lot of stuff that they do, pressures allowed, stuff like that. It's also kind of, I don't know, it's a little bit subjective, but overall, I mean, I think it can be a good metric to give you an idea. Now, I know the creator of the Joe Moore Award, Aaron Taylor, know him very well. Obviously, you guys do too over there, and had some lot of great talks with him. And I like how they do it. And obviously, Notre Dame's won it a good few times, and I'm a big fan of that. I think we've needed that type of award for offensive linemen for a while, and I think it's recognition that's well deserved. And I don't know, I'm excited to see who's going to win it this year. There's not any like definite winner right now. I'm looking at Ohio State, looks pretty good up front right now, so I'm curious who's going to come away with that one though.
Yeah, we're going to talk about Notre Dame's offensive line in a bit, and Landon's got some hashtag thoughts on that. But yeah, I mean, we've been having fun over here on the Notre Dame side of things, kind of, looking at the Penn State situation with James Franklin being fired. But you did put out this tweet. You're not happy about some of the reporting that's been been out there. I feel like not only on the national side, but Penn State outlets potentially as well. But yeah, your thought is not, that, hey, Franklin got a raw deal here. You think it was just like all parties were just done.
Yeah. No, it was over. Listen, the average American divorce happens 8 years into it. Franklin and Penn State went 12. That's good. That's a long relationship there. He did a lot of great stuff. But it was time. There was a lot of stuff that happened. James Franklin went to the athletic director before the season started, asked for another extension. He's only 3 years into this one that he got as a 10-year deal. He's getting $8 million a year. And the AD told him no. He said, go win something, go beat someone of some substance. James got mad. Him and his agent kind of went over top, went to the board of trustees, and the president tried to ask them for a raise. They told him no, got back to Pat Kraft. Pat Kraft did not like that, the undermining, and it got pretty sour pretty quick. And there was already so much turmoil between James Franklin and the fans and a lot of the Penn State donors. It was over. It was over. It was time for Penn State to move on from James Franklin. There was no salvaging it. That's what I don't get from the national media. It's like, how could you do this? It's just, 3 games, those losses. It's like, dude, walking off the field against Northwestern, first off, he knew he couldn't answer after the game.
Obvious.
Yeah, someone asked him, do you want to be the head coach here at Penn State? Couldn't even answer that. He said, it's about the guys in the locker room. It's like, how do you come back from that? You got people, Franklin was the last guy off the field. He made sure everybody went ahead of him because he knew how bad it was going to be walking through the tunnel. People screaming, booing, cursing him, saying, fire Franklin. It was over. It was time for it to be over. The fire was gone. It was fully put out. It was a bucket of water was put over it, and you were not going to relight that fire. So I don't get that. Even the athletic director, Pat Kraft, said, look, this was not a 3-game thing. It was not just from these 3 games. But Franklin, he got everything that he wanted, that he's been asking for, and he came out this year with this type of performance. There's no working around that.
Landon, what does your fiance think about your little stat that you threw out there?
Oh, man. Hopefully we go a lot longer than that. I'll tell you what. Hopefully it's longer than 8 years. I hope so.
Oh, man. I think I've been married for 7.
Oh, no.
7 years.
Here we go, Mike.
So, yeah, maybe not after I said that. All right. Do you just want to dive into some film, Landon, or is there anything else you want to?
Yeah, we might as well get into it. I don't think I can say what I wrote as far as CJ Carr. You can't use that word on YouTube, but I sent Mike. I said, this is CJ Carr.
Propaganda.
We'll say propaganda, but a word that begins with P. Yeah, that's what I said. That's how much I love me some CJ Carr.
All right, so let's
I love it.
Pop on a play here. And so Eric, Landon, you tell us what you think. Eric, if you have any follow-up questions, feel free to jump in. But you sent these to me. I don't know which plays they are. I haven't watched them, but
just throw them
tell us
out.
what you think.
Yeah, so right here you got this is like a man coverage slot fade, meaning the guy in the slot just running kind of fade to the outside. It's just such good ball placement. Knows where he's going. He always looks off the safety to keep him, and it's just great placement. It's like his fade, his deep ball is he's incredibly talented, and like I said, he's the way he moves people with his eyes, and he's just such a young guy that has such little reps actually playing meaningful football, and it just looks every time that he's out there like a third-year starter. I think that's the most impressive part about CJ Carr's game. He can make every throw. The field is his oyster, if you will, but every throw just looks like that. It's so beautiful. It makes me, God, I love watching CJ Carr play football. I told you it was a depressing time for Penn State. I said I'm going to turn on some CJ Carr tape to cheer me up a little bit here.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like something like watching him as a Notre Dame quarterback looks like something I haven't seen at Notre Dame since I started covering. Like the protection here is flawless. Will Pauling has really come into his own. Like, when's the last time we saw Notre Dame receivers straight up running by people down the field like this? Like, this last year may have been, and we love Riley Leonard around here, this might have been a 15-yard underthrow for a pick. You know, like, who I'm not trying to dog Riley Leonard, but, you know, there's a lot of things working here. It's like Carr is brilliant, but look at this pocket. Look at the receiver. It's art. It is art, bro.
Yeah, by the way, pass pro was pretty damn good. I mean, there was a couple here and there, but for the most part, I mean, Carr was dealing from a clean pocket. Yeah, ball placement exactly where you want it to be. Great route. Beautiful stuff.
Do you see anything like we're going to talk about the run game and not a good light, but is it like Notre Dame's pass pro is great, the run game blocking is not? And how common is that for an offensive line to be really good at one and not good at the other?
I think the pass pro is definitely a lot better. I think NC State didn't have any great pass rushers, so there was kind of that as well. I still have my worries about Knapp, and I was texting this morning, like, I still don't know what happened to Emil Wagner.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of the confidence is gone. When I was studying Emil Wagner and I turned on the tape for the college football playoffs last year, I'm like, oh, this is a dude at right tackle. And he's just not confident. He's fallen back. He's a really soft edge. His hands are not as powerful as they were before. I don't know. It's odd what's happened to him. And then obviously I think we know Knapp is not supposed to be at left tackle. I'd get him out of there as soon as possible, because if you ever face another edge rusher, I mean, there's not many like Bain from Miami. I'm sorry to bring that up, but yeah, I'd still be worried about those two tackles against some really good edge rushers. Good news is I don't really think there's many left on your schedule, in your regular season schedule, but yeah, that's a slight worry for me. But the run game as a whole, like I said, we'll get into it, watch some tape, but I don't know, it's hard for me. There's a couple times where it's just like their eyes aren't up, they're not exactly seeing it correctly, and then there's also just kind of a lack of physicality. There's some technical things where guys are really out of their legs, they're not playing in a good base. So we'll look at it, but I definitely think there needs to be a little bit of a regrouping of the run game, if you will. Obviously, the backs are freaking elite, but the holes are kind of few and far between, especially against NC State.
Can I jump in here real quick and ask him a couple questions, Mike?
Yes, please.
Oh, man, this is wonderful. You mentioned Knapp. Where would you think his best position is? I mean, are you saying boot him out of the starting five, or do you think there's a better position for him on this line?
I mean, yeah, if you want to keep him in, I definitely think, I mean, he's a guard for sure. So I think that's where he needs to be. And he'll like a lot of times in the run game, he just kind of will get dented in. If it's like outside zone to the left, he kind of, a lot of times it's hard for Love or Price to get outside in that. He's just not super good in space. Like he is meant to truly be a guard. Now, what's the situation with Charles? Remind me.
Jagusah, not good.
Jagusah, still don't know.
He had a setback. He had a plate break in that humerus, and so they had to go back in and clean that up, so it elongates the timeline. So I don't think we're going to see him during the regular season. Maybe in the playoff, like he played last year, but not during the regular season. Now, would you like to plug him in at left tackle if you had that option?
I would absolutely love to. I just worry if you start to in the playoffs. Like I said, I think you're fine kind of the rest of this regular season, but I would worry about Knapp going into the playoffs against some elite edge rushers. I think that could spell some problems for CJ Carr in the passing game. Like I said, it held up well enough actually on that. We'll look at it, but on that Carr that ridiculous throw that kind of went viral around social media. Knapp got beat around the edge there. And like I said, NC State didn't really have any real pass rush. So I'm a little bit worried about that. But I'll tell you, the backs are great in pass pro, though. Price and Love will come up and absolutely stick someone. So, I mean, that's definitely a positive there, at least.
A question for you. How much Notre Dame film does Landon watch? He's watched every single Notre Dame game in the All-22. So, and you've probably watched every play a couple times. So
yeah, I've watched every single snap of both sides of the ball this year. So yeah, I mean, I don't do a ton on YouTube right now in Notre Dame, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, I would say outside of Penn State, it's definitely probably the team I talk about the most. And some people get jealous about it, but that's all right. So.
Does James Franklin get jealous?
Well, not anymore. Not anymore, Eric. He's I think he's on a beach somewhere, just collecting a check at this point. So,
Well, I wanted to follow up with the Anthony Knapp statement. So Notre Dame after USC has a bye week. If you are Joe Rudolph, if you're Mike Denbrock, do you talk about reshuffling the line, or is that just you're too deep into the season at that point to mess with it?
I mean, I think you're too. Like I said, I've watched a lot of film. I don't know like the backup situation. I don't know. Is there anybody else you feel that you can kind of shuffle around? I think he still might be the best choice.
Garrett B. Lambert. A lot of people throw his name out there since he came in as a tackle. There's Will Black and Matty Augustine, who are true freshmen, and only Augustine's played. Will Black hasn't even played it down yet.
Yeah, Will Black, he was a really highly recruited guy, right?
They love him. They love what he's going to turn into.
Well, I don't know. That's hard. It's one of those things as a true freshman, you develop so much each week. I don't know if that's something that maybe you could throw Black out there as the season continues to go on. I think there's probably a reason that Rudolph is not putting him out there. It would be my guess, because you're not going to hamstring yourself like that if you don't have to. I'm not saying that Knapp is bad necessarily, but I just worry about him. Like, he's fine versus an NC State or any team that doesn't have an elite pass rush, but you put a guy out there that can threaten him with speed. Like, Knapp can't get out of his stance like a tackle should be able to, and that's his biggest problem. You saw that against Miami, and it was really taken advantage of. So if you're able to shuffle it around, get Black, a young guy in there, I think I would lean that way, and it might be a little bit of growing pains for a minute there, but I just don't know how I feel about Knapp in the playoffs going against some really, really good defensive ends or just blitz schemes in general.
Yeah, Pitt gets after you. That's the one team I think in November that would challenge them at least up front, but that's interesting.
I would be pretty surprised if Will Black ended up starting for Notre Dame this season. I love him. He's going to be a first-round pick for sure. Like, he's this absolute stud, freakazoid. But like with him repping more at guard, and now he's got the concussion, like that would be a lot to ask of him to come along and now be the left tackle. But hey, Anthony Knapp started as a true freshman last year against Texas A&M.
He's repping at guard right now. Black is.
Yeah,
he was in the
fall.
In the fall, he was.
And I don't think that was anything about like his long-term thing. I think it was more about like the depth for what they have now. Okay. All right, let's see what we got next, Landon, on the CJ Carr propaganda run.
Here we go. Oh, here's the play. This is where Nat gets beat here. I mean, this throw, let me tell you what. Oh, baby.
Does he like lean his body a little bit to the right just to buy himself more time? Like, is that?
Yeah, he does right here. I mean, I think he also feels the pressure, so that's why he's kind of jumping away from it. He's got great feel for the pocket for sure, and that's kind of why if you go back a little bit, not to turn this into a Nat breakdown, but I just from the end zone view after this.
Okay, yeah.
So you just go slow, like now. It just like it's so quick how he drops that back foot. It just doesn't move, and like I say, kind of plays out of his legs. So you see, go back a little bit there that's when he first starts to make contact. He's not like in a good base. He's pretty much almost straight, like right there. You see, he's kind of like leaning out. His butt isn't backing right there. His butt's not backing down. Very little bend in his legs. You're not able to move well like that, and he struggles with his punch. And so that's why I think it would be better at guard, but him on an island just doesn't spell success for this Notre Dame offensive line or for CJ Carr. But this is really one of the only reps where he got beat. But yeah, so CJ Carr falling away from it, lasers it. I mean, not even a laser, a beautiful touch pass right over top of that linebacker, right where it needs to be. I mean, that is probably one of the best throws I've ever seen CJ Carr make, but just absolutely elite stuff. And that's why I think he's going to be a first-round pick, this play right here.
Yeah, we talked about like earlier in the season, like that freshman game might be coming, and it's not. His like, oh, the lights are too bright for me in this moment. It's just not happening. The guy is just, he's so freaking good.
And like, what's crazy is like a lot of the comps, like it's like him, Dante Moore, Fernando Mendoza, like those are the top guys. Dante Moore just had a moment where lights were too bright against Indiana coming to town. And he looked shook. I watched the whole Oregon tape, like still had some really great flashes, but that's why I'm so high on Carr, that he's this young in year 2, didn't play last year, and he's looking like this. I mean, the confidence is off the charts.
Eric, anything?
Landon, what do you notice about what he does pre-snap? Do you like what he's doing pre-snap in terms of protections and stuff?
Yeah, you've definitely seen. I've seen him, adjust some things for sure, and I think that's great. You can put that on a quarterback at that young of an age, or at that early of a career. I think that's big. But also, he understands completely what he has. Like, he understands, I have this play, right? I know what I have. Okay, I know before the snap that I am going to look, and you have reads, but at the same time, if I know I'm going somewhere, I might snap my head to the left, even though I know I'm going to the right. I'm going to look left, hold the high safety, hold the linebackers, and then boom, come back right and fire it. I've seen that a ton from him, and that's generally when you have man coverage, and then you have kind of a high safety, or even in zone, if you see a linebacker and you kind of want to move him with your eyes a little bit. CJ does all of that beautifully, and that's the type of stuff that's, it is kind of basic in quarterback play, but it's a lot of stuff that's too big a moment for a lot of young guys to be able to do all that. They're just trying to process it and just try to deliver a decent ball, and he's doing everything. And that's why I say he looks like a third-year starting quarterback going out there in whatever it is. Now this is game 6, 7, something. Oh, I did it again, Mike. Every single time I say 6, 7 on this podcast, I'll tell you what. Eric, do you know 6, 7? Does that mean anything to you, Eric?
I'm not that old.
No, I'm not
yet.
Eric, after this, Eric, you gotta go. Search on your computer. What does 6, 7 mean?
I will do that.
All right, good.
I have kids in in their 30s, so they might know.
That was so accidentally funnier than it should have been. That was hysterical. Eric, I love you, man. You're so funny to me. Oh, that was great. All right. For the sake of time, we got to roll through some of these.
This is actually a really similar play here. Not as well placed, but very similar play. It's basically the opposite side. It's the PI. He was obviously had a little bit more pressure on him. He was also on the run, kind of going forward. So to get his hips back square and fire this away, still really impressive. Like I said, leaves it a little bit short. But I think in this type of situation, when you see that he's got the linebacker beat, the linebacker's in oh crap mode right there. If you leave it a little bit short, it's not the end of the world, because that will happen right there, and you get the PI. You'll see if you were watching, you remember it, but you see the flag come in if you let it go. Right? Yeah. There it comes. So it's just, always giving his guy a good chance, but it's just, I love how he operates. There's no panic. There is zero panic in CJ Carr's game.
Do you think that he's like how he stepped up here, he could have planted instead of threw on the run? Like,
yeah. I guess, okay. I guess that's fair. I guess you could say there's slight panic here. He could have probably just stepped up and deliver a ball. I think he thought, all right, I'm going to take off, and then saw it and was like, yeah, all right, I'm going to launch this thing. But I still like the no hesitation from him, in a sense of like, yeah, maybe he didn't see it exactly right away. Yeah, it looks like he finally snapped back there and saw it as he was starting to run, because in his mind, he sees that pressure right there. He doesn't know what's coming on his backside from Knapp, and he just starts to take off. And then it's like, all right, I snap his eyes back, and then just goes ahead and fires it. Like I said, not as good of a ball as the first one that we just saw, basically the exact same play, but still gives his guy, somewhat of a chance. And in this type of situation, if you leave it short with someone trailing, it can result in a DPI like it did here.
Yeah. Protection, decent.
I like the protection here. I think it's definitely good.
Okay. All right. And then propaganda number 4. Let's see what we got here, Landon. Oh, I know which one this is.
Oh my gosh. Not a catch, but holy cow. It's a lot better from the end zone. Here we go.
Wait, is that one where he hits Raritan? Is that not on here? You know what I'm talking about? Where he had all day to throw. He throws the corner to Raritan.
I thought I did put that on here. Isn't there one more after this? Maybe I didn't put it on.
It might be my fault.
I don't know.
But anyways, I can see.
Yeah,
that's a heck of a ball, man. KK Smith.
Yeah, I mean, opposite hash. Where is he? So he releases it from the 37 down to the opposite 9, basically. I mean, and the same thing. Eyes, you snap back. There's no one there. I mean, puts it right where it needs to be. Can't always blame your wide receiver for not making the play. It's not always going to be made, but that's giving your guy a chance. And oh boy, those are some talented footballs. I have not. There's very few quarterbacks in college football playing like he is right now. I think right now it's Ty Simpson, it's Fernando Mendoza, and it's CJ Carr. That's where I'm at. That's where I'm at. You're going to get the SEC fanboys on those lists and stuff from ESPN and SEC Network, all that stuff. That's what you're going to get. But CJ Carr deserves a ton of props for what he's doing right now.
Brandon, what do you think of Jaden Mayava? Where does he fit?
I mean, talented, super talented, and obviously kind of he wasn't the first one after Caleb Williams. There was one who was in between Jordan Maeva.
It was Miller Moss.
Miller Moss. You know, obviously Maeva's not as talented as Caleb Williams, but he's definitely got it. He's got a cannon on him, can really move around. So, you know, can elusive in the pocket. Was just kind of watching a bunch of him. Once again, a young guy that sees it very well. They hit a lot of passes up the seam, but great. Same thing where he can put the ball really wherever he wants it. Got some talented wide receivers as well. So it's going to be a great match. This is going to be a duel between two really, really good quarterbacks coming up this weekend. So listen, you guys know I got my guy CJ Carr though.
I gotta follow, if I may, Mike.
Yeah, please.
What happened with Drew Aller this year before he got hurt? I mean, he was not playing at a high level. What was going on there? Is it the receivers? It was
Eric. I feel like you're a kid at the candy store right now.
I am. I'm loving this.
The receivers
comes back all the time.
The receivers were just about as good as you guys saw them in the semifinals. AKA, they're not good at all.
I thought you were about to say they're as good as you guys, like me and Eric playing receiver.
They might as well be you and Eric out there playing wide receiver. Drew Aller has no help. It's also not, and Drew Aller also has not been good at all. There's a lot of problems there. I think the head coach was not instilling much confidence. The offensive coordinator, the play calling was super bland. I don't know. Can I say the S word on here, Mike?
What, the shit? You want to say shit? Yeah.
It was a shit show. The passing game was an absolute shit show at Penn State. And so, yeah, it was just how you guys saw it in the semifinals game. I'll tell you what. So, Drew, I kind of feel bad for Drew to go out like that on, being carted off against Northwestern. That's the end of his career. Really sucks. But, yeah, no, he unfortunately just kind of doesn't have it. And he's got all the talent, but the mental isn't even close to there. So, that's why I just love watching CJ Carr, because I had to watch so much unconfident quarterback tape with Penn State. So I see CJ Carr, this guy that's just like, it's like the South Park meme where he's carrying his nuts in the wheelbarrow. Like, that's CJ Carr. And then I have to go back to just like watching just complete trash, basically. CJ Carr just drags them across these defenders' face, basically. That's my favorite part. Sorry, not to get too graphic here.
Well, I do think that the Notre Dame fan base is curious about Aller as well, since Notre Dame in that cycle with Angeli was trying to get him interested.
Last thing on that, I watched Drew Aller's first game ever. It was his best game ever. West Virginia 2023. It's crazy. If your first game ever is your best game ever, I blame coaching. And I think he was completely ruined by James Franklin and the offensive coordinators that he's had. So,
Landon, you do not pull punches.
No, not at all. Not at all. I don't. So
your former coaches too.
I played for both of those offensive coordinators. They absolutely screwed him. So obviously he's not good, but I think he had all the talent. I think he was not ever put in a good situation. So
okay. Yeah, Landon will tell you how he feels. That is very much for sure. All right, can we get into some blitzes?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, man, is Chris Ash cooking? I don't know, guys.
Is it Marcus Freeman? I'm here.
Oh, jeez, you're not hearing anything.
All right, I was just checking. I got a couple texts about that. I didn't know.
About what?
I put out a tweet talking about, shout out Chris Ash for putting this. I got like 3 texts. They're like, it's not Ash. It's not Ash. It's not Ash. I'm like, oh boy, is there any truth to this? I don't know, guys. Listen, I watch a lot of Notre Dame tape. I follow along with my boy Singer. I don't really follow anybody else. So I'm not like super in on like the news. I just do the X's and O's for Notre Dame. So I don't really know. I just see a lot of improvement on tape by the defense. So it's kind of interesting, my perspective, because like I said, that's why I didn't know about like the Will Blacks. I just watched what I see on tape, and that's it. So
I think Eric and I are in agreement that Freeman has gotten more involved, but like Freeman's not like calling the defense. Like you could see that if you were calling the defense, you would be able to tell on the sideline he's calling the defense. Like Chris Ash is still calling the defense. Is that where you're at, Eric? Maybe Freeman's.
That's where I'm at as well.
Okay.
Well, I think, it could be Jim Knowles' situation where Ryan Day really stepped in and kind of apparently changed some things around. And I didn't want to believe the Ohio State fans. And then, I've seen what happened to our defense. So I don't know. But yeah, it could be just a little influence.
Okay.
A little influence.
All right, let's look at the couple blitzes you got.
All right.
What we got here?
So the 2 blitzes I showed, and this is basically kind of the combination of the blitz that he's doing. It looks a little bit different each time, but if you want to go slow through it, if you kind of want to. So what you're going to get is every single time they ran this blitz like 5 times where it was some type of stunt on the inside. So you get the 2 guys, you get the 1 pick man going to pick 72, you get the looper coming around, you got the blitzer coming from depth, and then both defensive ends, both edges are kind of just keeping contained. So the idea is chaos in the middle with your moving guys, your stunting guys, they're looping, you're plugging an extra guy, and then the guys on the outside are making sure that the quarterback does not get outside of the pocket. So that's kind of where you're getting here, a bunch of guys looping, and then he can't go anywhere, and then kind of falls right into Traore because you keep that contained. So that's a great job there. Like I said, havoc in the middle, contain on the outside is kind of the idea from this one. And I think it's changed a little bit. It just seems like there's a lot more confidence almost from these defenders. I also think NC State is not as good as some of the other teams you played, so there's that as well. But it just seems like they're executing just a lot more smooth.
Yeah, I like the end zone copy here because you can see just clamps, by these Notre Dame DBs. Like it's tough sledding as a quarterback if you're getting all that pressure and there is no one open.
We don't have any clips. I didn't put any clips, but the DBs looked really like the man coverage that I saw. Like they looked good. They were clamped down. I enjoyed that.
It's pretty great aside from the Dallas Golden touchdodown. Otherwise,
I was gonna say Golden is still the main one. I'm kind of like about, but overall,
true freshman.
Yeah, it's rough. It's rough sledding out there, man. So you're gonna see the same thing here. So you're gonna get you're gonna drop out, but it's gonna be the same thing. You get a twist on the inside. So you see, they're kind of exchanging looper, penetrator, and then you're gonna get both defensive ends, keeping that contained there, making sure the quarterback doesn't get outside the pocket.
Oh, Stroman.
And then you get Stroman plugging in late. So that's kind of like I said, it looks different. It's not the same exact thing each time, but that's the idea. Interior chaos, outside contain, and try to get after the quarterback. So I think it's a really good combo because sometimes when you run these exotic blitzes and stunts where the outside guys are getting in, and from time to time they did do a couple different twists and stunts with the outside guys, but I love the contain, making sure they can't get out of the pocket, and then let's mess with them on the inside and see if they're about it, and then plug in the guy from depth. Just Stroman just coming free. That quarterback does not like to see that.
Yeah, it was Bowen bringing as the 5th rusher on the last play, and now you bring it from the safety spot, so coming in different.
Yeah, and Bowen was pressed up on the line too, and he dropped out, so it's just kind of toying with the offensive line a little bit more too. So that's always good stuff there.
All right, so we looked at some good things and now maybe some not good things.
Oh no,
Mr. Tengwall.
Oh no, here we go.
And if you're listening to this as a podcast, I apologize. Just you got to watch on YouTube.
Yeah, come over to the YouTube, folks. All right, you're going basically outside zone here to the right, and oh boy, we got a situation here. We'll go slowly. So the plugging linebacker just absolutely destroys our boy Billy right here. Just bow. Yeah. So it makes Love have to fully cut this thing back because he sees, and also you get Gertie just absolutely dented too. So both guards just kind of getting destroyed here. If you want to go back one more time, we'll watch each guard. So let's go right guard first. It's a little bit easier if you go one at a time. So you're going to go back to the beginning. So you're going outside zone. He's basically trying to kind of reach this guy, and you see his base isn't great. His feet are kind of, and just gets dented into the backfield. So Love, if we're looking at Love right now, he's going, oh crap, I can't go outside because that is 2 yards in the backfield. So Gertie kind of screwed me over there. And now I'm going to go, hey, let's cut it up. And our boy Billy is also just getting absolutely dented into the backfield. So both guards left him out to dry here. And it's not, there's nowhere for Love to go. I mean, he's got nothing. He's going to try to cut back in that little lane that you see right there.
It's not a good place to be if you're a left guard. This is still right there.
No, you don't. No, you don't want to be there. You don't want to be there. So this makes it. This is what I mean by guys. There's too much of them getting dented, meaning that they're getting kind of pushed into the backfield, and it's a little bit mechanics. The hands are getting outside. The base is not playing in your legs, not being in the base that you should be in. So that's getting. You can do another freeze frame on Billy there, poor guy. Oh man.
So this like backside D end here, when you're calling the outside zone to the right, you're just leaving him unblocked because the thought is he's like Love is working to his right and the backside backers or the backside end's not catching him, right?
Yeah, unless you have some freak backside, you're generally just kind of leaving him alone. Or sometimes you can, if you have a Riley Leonard, you can also read him, meaning if he crashes, then Riley, the quarterback could pull it. So that is something that you kind of get with more of a mobile quarterback. But yeah, that is something. And sometimes you'll do different things to kind of play with him. But yeah, Notre Dame's just straight up leaving him, just saying, and that's fine. But if at all you get dented or kind of just anything like this, Love has no chance because he's coming fast. So if you want to block it up like this, where you're just going to completely leave the backside DN, that's fine. But you cannot get jacked up like this. If two of your guys are just getting pushed back, I mean, Love doesn't have a chance in the world.
Real quick on Wagner and Raritan. I think Raritan makes a nice block here. Wagner is his job to help out Gerby here and then get up to the next level. Like, is he doing a good job helping Gerby here?
Yeah, so there's really like no one for him to go to. He's kind of just working up to whoever. Yeah, I mean the guy really plays inside and he gets so deep into Gertie that there's like nothing for Wagner to get. So there's nothing else that Wagner really could have done here. I like how he braced back. I mean, it was good. He only got as much as he could really get. So,
okay. All right. Run play number 2 here.
Here we go. Oh my gosh. And you get right here. So you're going right up to guys, inside zone, duo, whatever you want to call it. The double team that you get from the center and the left guard. I mean, to knock that thing over. And you see how far, if you want to go back to the beginning one more time. Oh, sorry. So watch, here we go, 74-70. And watch our boy, and he's out for the year, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that hurts so much. Watch him just hit the hip, and we call it this displacement. Just displaces this 2-eye, this inside, all the way to the outside. I need Billy to just continue to take that thing.
This looks beautiful right here, right?
It's beautiful. And if you see the position that Billy's in, right? It's just he's fine, but once again he's not playing in his legs. He's so high up. He needs to be in a better base, and just completely gets yanked back inside. Like your center helped you out so much. As I played left guard, he helped him so much here, and just completely comes back inside. Once again, if you screw him, it's not a position you want to be in there as a left guard, and so. That's hard, and then Gertie kind of, and it's not awful by Gertie here, but you'd like to try to have him to continue to work that up. He gets beat inside, so kind of the late block shedding was a problem for Notre Dame, where sometimes the hole really did look good, and like I said, that's beautiful. That's exactly what you want it to look like, and your center puts you in a great position, but Billy did not finish this block off right here.
Yeah, this looks like it's like a 4-yard gain that could have been like a 40-yard gain.
Yeah, you hold it a little bit longer. I mean, look, not every hole needs to look like that the entire play, but you'd like to not get those late block sheds, or maybe they just get almost a hand on Love, but it was too much.
All right, last one, Landon, and this is down in the red zone.
Yeah, I believe this was like first.
Is this Eric? This might have been I mean, this is just showing off short yardage issues.
Yeah, this was first and goal, I believe, actually. I mean,
Okay.
obviously, it was one of the ones where you guys got stopped. And so Love is trying to do everything he can. So what I want you to watch is on the left side here. So they're running just, once again, just inside zone up the middle. I don't – you got this guy in motion that's coming to crack the outside guy. I don't really know. The left tackle and the left guard, I don't know how you just leave one, because that's the linebacker that you'd be comboing up to. You'd be blocking that guy up to one, and one just comes absolutely free. So this is what we call a misassignment. They just – no one blocked. I don't know. Like I said, this is where like PFF – Eric, you asked earlier about their grades. Yeah. This is one where the PFF guy doesn't know. Does he fault the guy and does he fault the motion man that should maybe be blocking him? Do you fault the left tackle for not just going out and blocking one? I don't have the exact answer of who should. I would assume they should be comboing that down lineman up to one, which basically means that Knapp should just be coming right off to one pretty much instantly because he sees him inching up. So I would have really liked to see Knapp just do that, but at the same time, maybe Knapp just assumed, hey, the guy in motion that's coming to block, that's who he's going to pick up. So, like I said, it's hard to judge, but there's a clear issues in the run game of not only like we looked at the late block shedding, the not the great technique, but there was a couple times like this. I picked a couple plays that kind of represented all the issues. There was definitely a couple plays where I'm like, I don't know what we're doing here. There was a clear issue and a miscommunication, and that's stuff that you can't have, especially in the college football playoffs.
Okay, Landon, if you're analyzing this big picture and you're looking at Notre Dame's fourth and short problems, is it more of a line problem or is it something Mike Denbrock can fix with play call?
Yeah, so I mean, look, you both times you were inside the 10, right? There was two times where Notre Dame was inside the 10 and failed to get any points because they went for it. And I mean, I have to blame the offensive line to a pretty high level because the first one where I think it was just 4th and 1, and they did a sprint out with I almost said Riley Leonard with CJ Carr, and it's right. and I don't blame them because the offensive line's getting stuffed, but it's like if it's 4th and 1 and you're playing NC State and you're Notre Dame, you damn well better be able to get a yard with your offensive line and Jeremiah Love or Jadarian Price back there. Like you have to be able to do that. So I'm not going to say it's not like they're like soft, but the technique isn't all the way there for them to play super physical. It feels like, and there's plenty of flashes like Billy had plenty of flashes where he looked great. Obviously, out for the year with I'm sorry guys, out with the year. So that's Craig's out for the year, right?
Yeah, right.
That sucks because he had some good moments. There was also some moments where I felt like his technique, he was leaning. Like overall, it doesn't fully feel like a true Joe Rudolph offensive line at the moment, which is weird because I love his line play. And like when I looked at the line last college football playoffs, I'm like, you saw some shortcomings of some guys just not having it like Knapp, but everybody just looked so much more confident. I'm not exactly sure like what happened specifically, Emil Wagner. I don't know exactly what happened, but it's just they're not playing with the same technique and confidence that they had last playoff run.
I got to do some digging on Emil because I've noticed the same thing too. He's not the same guy.
I want to, yeah, I mean, there's nothing like I remember watching him against Ohio State and he was still great. Like something happened. I don't know. I don't know if he lost his girlfriend. I don't know, I don't know what happened to our boy Emil because I was like, I had almost the love that I had for CJ Carr was like getting there for Emil Wagner. And, obviously I thought he handled, as much as there was a little bit of pressure, I thought he handled Abdul Carter, the 3rd overall pick, very well. Yeah. And then, just not great tape for him this year. So that's definitely something that needs to improve as Notre Dame wants to churn along to the playoffs. Those tackle spots, they got to be more solid for him.
Yeah. Eric, anything else for Landon? We've gone over, but anything else before we kick you out of the candy store?
Can we have your dad on next week? He sounds like a character.
Oh, he is. He loved Notre Dame. He was a big fan. But
did I get to meet your dad?
I
feel like I did.
You definitely did. Dude, Mike took me out to breakfast when I was like 16.
Whoa.
Hold on. And the worst part was he made me pay.
Listen,
guys, this guy is not that. Mike, talk to me, man.
It was before NIL. Listen, I didn't know what to do. Could you imagine? Like I just got that job covering Notre Dame. It was like I didn't want to go back to covering Oregon State. I didn't know what to do.
Is that where you were before Notre Dame, Oregon State?
Oregon State and Colorado.
That must have sucked.
I covered Mike McIntyre and Jonathan Smith.
Look where you've come, man. That's big time.
Do you know who I also covered for like 6 months?
Who's that?
USC. Did you know that, Eric?
Oh, no.
USC.
I did not know
like
that.
6 months.
Who was there? What year was that?
I was Clay Helton.
Okay.
Yeah. It was so long ago. It's like 2015-ish, 2016.
Okay. All right.
I just called recruits. I didn't really do much. I was like 6 months. I jumped around. I was like a gun for hire at Rivals for 6 years. Let's just say 6 years.
What was it? What, 6 or what? 6 or what years?
I couldn't remember how. It's just 6 years.
Okay. Eric, make sure at the end of this that you look up 6'7". I just need you.
I did look it up while you guys were talking.
It won't make sense either, by the way. I hope it's just not going to make sense. It doesn't make sense to any of us. It's brain rot
on this show. Anyways.
So Eric, you should have said 6 or 7 for the divorce stat instead of 8.
There we go. By the way, someone in the chat said his girl broke up with him after 8 years. There's the divorce stat.
All right, Landon, how about this? The next time I see you in person, which I have not since that day, or did you play at the Under Armour?
I did. I saw you at Under Armour at Future 50.
Oh, yeah. You know who else was there? Bo Collins, Chris Tyree.
Yes. Yeah. We had a crew there. Dude, Rocco Spindler. Dude, me and Rocco spent the whole week together.
That's right. Was
Was
that in Orlando?
That was in Orlando. It was New Year's.
Camping World.
Dude, that was the greatest. Like that was the most. That week was so fun because the Future 50 guys, we just got to be there and hang out while the guys had practice, like the seniors. What a time! It was like Caleb Williams, Rocco Spindler, J.C. Latham, who played for Bama, is now in the Titans. Like we had a crew, and we were just eating food, going in the pool. There we go.
Wow, January 25th, 2020. What I like most is the tradition, probably, especially in the offensive line. Landon Tengwall will visit Notre Dame in March and has high interest in the Fighting Irish. He did not visit Notre Dame in March because of COVID. Because of COVID.
Did I lock someone down here? Hopefully I didn't get beat. I was too outside with the hands, man.
Do you
Anthony Knapp would like a word with you.
Yeah, Anthony Knapp is picking this apart right now. Let me tell you what. Anthony Knapp has issues. There it is. There's the photo that you took of me after I didn't get my food paid for. Was I wearing a Georgia shirt?
Apparently.
What the hell? Why did I do that? Why was I wearing a cutoff to breakfast too? It was like cold out, I think.
All right, Landon, if you come to South Bend, we'll get you to the linebacker house.
All right.
Drinks on me, Landon.
Oh no, I think I got cooked here. Oh no. Bro, Anthony Knapp is watching this having a good old time with me right now. That's getting smoked right there. I wish we had the beginning. I think I tried to post down. I'm at right guard. Okay,
dude. Here's Rocco Spindler, by the way.
Yeah, there's Rocco. I mean, look at me. So I'm fully out of my legs. Go back a little bit. Do you see how much I rise up? I think I'm off the ground right there. That's bad offensive line play right there, guys. You don't want to see that. No bend in my legs.
You're off the ground here.
I am off the ground. That guy, I think that guy was pretty good. I think he gave me some work that entire day.
Look, he rips through for no reason. He didn't really need to do that.
I completely missed. Hold on, there's got to be. Oh, there's no more.
Because somebody bought him breakfast. That's why he had that.
Yeah, someone bought it. This is crap.
There you are.
Someone said that was Nat versus Miami.
Wow. Look at me trying to sell some subscriptions when I'm hearing on Landon Tengwall.
Oh my! This is amazing.
Man, how many times have I tweeted about this guy?
Just a couple. Good times, man. Real quick. I remember Jeff Quinn came to see me playing a game against St. John's, which is a really good team. They were like top 10 in the country, and I had like 2 false starts, and I think I gave up my only sack of my high school career in that game. And I saw him afterwards. He's like, how you doing? I'm like, sorry about that one, coach. He's like, no, it happens, man. It happens. I was like, I'm going home. I'm like, oh my God, this is horrible. And then I just remember, like, I told him I was going to Penn State, and he was just like, don't do it. He was like, it was on the phone for like 10 minutes and just, he's like, don't do it, man. I'm like, sorry, coach. I really appreciate you, man. I was a big Jeff Quinn guy. Liked him. Didn't like Brian Kelly though. So
what didn't you like about Brian? Just real quick.
Oh, just you could just tell, like, it just seemed real fake. It was like, I know that's like the go-to, but I was just kind of like, I remember being in his office with my cousin and my dad, and we were up there, and I was just, it just gave like weird vibes where you just get, I'm a vibe person, and I committed to James Franklin, and you see what I'm saying now, but at least he had a good sell. Brian Kelly, I don't know, I just wasn't feeling it. It was just kind of felt like I don't want to say car salesman. That's a little too rough. But I think him faking the speech is like down at LSU is like the perfect just encapsulation of how I felt about him. Just kind of weird and just kind of fake. Yeah.
It didn't like recruit you very hard. So it's like the only time you would probably talk to him is when you're on campus, right?
Yes. Very true.
Yeah. And then he like tries to be buddy with you. And it's like, bro, we don't really know each other that well.
There you go.
So, man, I was going to ask him a follow-up, and I don't remember now. Oh, well. Good times. And now you make me feel bad about 6 years ago.
How many? 6 or 7 years ago?
Just Landon, you got stupid. Landon Tengwall, everyone. Follow him on Twitter at Landon Tengwall. That is TENGWALL. We may have another video on Landon tomorrow on this channel. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. What do you think, Landon? Yeah.
I don't know. It might happen.
We'll see. You might have a little USC preview video. I think that'd be cool. So make sure you subscribe to this very YouTube channel. Hit the thumbs up on this video. That's going to do it for the show. We went 21 minutes long. I blame Eric for his follow-up questions, even though I gave him permission to. Seriously, really appreciate you all for tuning in. Go to blueandgold.com, follow Landon on Twitter, hit the thumbs up, and as always, folks, we will catch you next time.